It wasn't until Zephyr's first day of high school that he discovered the true nature of his new home. As he was wandering the halls, he stumbled upon a door that he hadn't seen before. It was hidden behind a large tapestry, and it looked like it hadn't been opened in years. Without hesitation, Zephyr pushed open the door and found himself in a dimly lit room. The room was filled with old books, potions, and witchcraft materials. Zephyr was both fascinated and terrified by what he saw. He spent some time looking around, but when he tried to leave the room, he found that the door had locked behind him. He was trapped. Panic set in as Zephyr desperately tried to find a way out. But just as he was about to give up hope, he heard voices outside the door. They were coming closer. Zephyr hid behind a large crate, hoping that the people outside wouldn't see him. To his horror, he overheard a group of students discussing a ritual they planned to perform that night. They were talking about a spell book, and one of them said that they needed a human sacrifice. And then, Zephyr heard his name. They were talking about him. Zephyr couldn't believe what he was hearing. He jumped up, ready to fight the students, but before he could make a move, they cast a spell on him. Zephyr was frozen in midair, unable to move or speak. The students laughed and left the room, leaving Zephyr hanging there, trapped and alone. As the hours passed, Zephyr's fear turned to desperation. He was convinced that the students were going to come back and sacrifice him. But when they returned, it wasn't just a few students with them. There were many more, and even a few teachers. They were all dressed in dark green velvet robes and had white porcelain doll masks on. Zephyr's heart raced as they approached him. He tried to run, but a teacher stopped him. The students tied him up with thick rope and placed him in the middle of a white chalk circle drawn on the floor. One student, who appeared to be the leader, began chanting words in Latin, and the others joined in. Zephyr was crying and pleading for help, but no one was listening. Just when he thought it was over, the chanting stopped. A blindfold was placed over his eyes, and Zephyr was plunged into darkness. He heard shuffling and movement around him, and he knew that his time was running out. But then, the blindfold was removed, and Zephyr saw that he was surrounded by his family and friends from his old school, along with the students and teachers from his new school. They were all wearing birthday hats and had brought out balloons, cake, and party decorations. The crowd yelled surprise, and Zephyr realized that it had all been an elaborate birthday surprise planned by his friends and the new students at his school. He laughed and cried in relief as his brother untied the rope around him. They all hugged and enjoyed Zephyr's surprise birthday party. But even as he celebrated, Zephyr couldn't shake the feeling that something eerie lied in the walls of his new school.